Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. I'm Mike Briggs, and the show is Real Estate and Home Improvement. We're going to have several people on the show today talking about your house and how to protect it and build it and make it better. Later today, we're going to have a gentleman who's going to talk to you about dirt. He sells the best dirt you can get to put in your lawn or your backyard and your garden and stuff like that. But our next guests, they're experts on real estate, and we like to have them on every month or so to bring us up to date on the market and if it's a good time to buy a house or sell a house. They are Julia and Tadich from Clovis First Real Estate Services. Welcome.
Right. Thank you.
Now, you've been at it a couple of years, I would imagine.
Just a decade or two.
A decade or two. And every day I hear the news, and I'm confused by it. Is the interest up? Is it down? Is it held the same?
We had a nice drop in interest rates yesterday.
We did, okay. So maybe it's the time if people have been holding off to maybe take a look.
And I think rates are on the downside.
By the way, do you do help people get the loans as well as buying their house?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Do you think this might be the time to...
And apparently we're good at evictions and getting rid of animals and junk.
Oh, and junk.
We've been doing
Once
a
you
lot of
evict
that
the people,
lately.
sometimes there's junk to get rid of.
Unfortunately, yes.
So right now, rates are down, or at least way more stabilized. I still think they're low because I've never had a rate as low as they are now when I bought my houses.
Somebody who thought they were going to get 8.125 ended up locking at 6.99. So I would say that rates are fluctuating, and it really, honestly, is amazing how you go in there in the morning and the afternoon. They're just changing constantly. There's stability, but there's no stability. I think it's on the downtrend, though.
That's why people need to talk to Julia or Tad about your loan.
Right.
Find out what you're qualified for, how much down you need. That's always a mystery to me because they say, oh, you only need 3% down. You get to the end.
Especially now, you can get a 97.5% FHA with a second.
With a second now, okay.
So 100% financing is back there.
I hadn't seen those since 2008, 2009, so you can get that then, huh?
Yes.
You can, and they're better in a lot of ways than they were before.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of default action going on because of the cost of living.
Yes.
And people have equity, but they sit there. If they get foreclosed on, they don't get any of that equity. They're done.
They lose it all.
Lose it all.
Let me ask you this. If somebody's having trouble, they're 2 behind, 3 payments behind, 4, 5, can you help them?
All you have to be is 3 months down, and the bank can take your house.
They can take it.
It's that fast.
Wow.
But the banks
And-
don't do that.
And to your question, yes, we can.
You can help them, yeah.
We may not have any other option but to help them get their equity by selling.
Right.
But it's better than a foreclosure. You know,
By
if they
far.
sell, even when in default, if they sell, it wipes out the debt. They are on the path to healing again.
A lot of people are sitting on $100,000 equity.
Yeah, yeah.
Or more.
Or more.
I mean, if you got to lose your house and kind of start over, wouldn't it be nice if you have with $100,000 in your pocket?
You bet.
We have a deal that we just put together. They're going to walk out of it with $114,000, and they're already buying another house.
Yeah.
So it really does make a difference.
Very few times in my life have I had $100,000 sitting there,
Right.
especially right now. So if you're in trouble, don't wait and wait and wait. I can tell you this, I'm pretty sure, you'll tell me if I'm wrong, it's free to call Julia and Tadich. It's free to call them and ask their advice on this.
Yes.
Because they've seen these come and go.
And we still have CalHAFA is still out there. There are better programs than CalHAFA. FHA is rocking. They usually have better rates than conventional. And you need to talk to somebody who really understands all those lending options for you.
There's a lot of
to
options.
figure out.
Yeah.
Yes.
These
too
people,
many.
these sites you go to look at houses for their sale, and they want to give you the loan and stuff.
Right.
That's just one option. You have
Great.
dozens of options, I would imagine.
Exactly, because you're exactly right about that. Those people haven't been schooled in giving people an option. Well, maybe this was a better idea. You should look at this. Really important.
Now, so people who are a little behind, who may be at risk, don't wait another month and another month. Call early.
Because did you know that once you're delinquent on your loan, they hire attorneys? Who do you think pays for the attorneys?
The lender, I would imagine.
No.
Oh, you do.
Yes.
All right, well,
and those attorneys are not cheap.
I'm worried about these people who are facing losing their home. Second people I'm worried about are renters who are paying $3,000 and $4,000 a month in rent.
You bet.
Yeah.
Can they get into a home?
Well,
That's
yes.
dependent on them.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot anybody can do, but rents, they're talking about bringing rent control.
Yeah.
back
But can
to
they,
the
I mean, if they're paying $4,000 a month in rent, can't they?
They should have
get
a house.
They should have a house
Yes.
payment,
Yes.
Now, will it be necessarily the same house type, same house or something similar? It may or may not. But
Depends on them.
it beats the heck out of just getting a stack of moldy rent receipts
yeah.
instead of building equity.
Building equity, yeah. And what my favorite saying is with Julie and Tadich, it's free to find out. So if you're a
Right.
renter, just talk to them.
Yeah,
They'll tell you
exactly.
if you can't do it or
Exactly.
if you can. But if you can, yeah, even if it's a smaller house.
And
Right.
even if it isn't, not now, we can tell them the steps to take to be a buyer.
What to do to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just, I've always said that the only way for us working folks to build wealth is through buying a house.
That is
Yeah.
so true, so true. And that property, as long as you're making your payments on time, that can be your credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, you can get a second behind it. You can do things with that equity,
Yeah. My
even
kids,
without selling.
my kids went to college, $60,000 a year.
Mm.
Guess where I got the money?
Out of your house?
Yeah, I had the equity just sitting there. It was like I made a withdrawal. And you know what? The interest, no taxes. You take that money out, it's tax free.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. That's probably the biggest point right there.
Kids, if you're watching, you owe me $60,000 a year, by the way.
I hope that they're in good jobs and actually
Yeah, they're
making
doing
money and
very
giving
well.
you money.
Yeah, they don't give me any money. Okay, so if you're gonna lose your house, call the Tadiches. If you're even a little behind, if you're a renter, just call and find out what your position is. You may be surprised, and there's a lot of good loans out for people who never bought a house.
And programs and just things.
Yeah. Third
Thanks.
group of people I'm worried about is people who've been sitting on their house thinking they should sell. COVID comes along, they don't. You know, the interest rates grow up, so they don't put their house on the market. Is it time for them?
Well, it depends on them. You know, honestly, there's,
Where are they
the
gonna
best
go?
time to sell is when you have to sell.
Yeah.
Or before that, if you can foresee. But most people don't. So the best time to sell is when you need to sell.
Well, where are they going to go? It's always the answer. Where are they going to go? Even during the time when people were losing their houses, it was more about what are we going to do with you when the house sells? Where are you going to go to? So helping them figure out where they're going to move to and what they're going to do, if that's going to be what's going to happen. I think buying a mobile home, motor home, and driving around the country,
Right.
that they'll have enough money to do that.
I know in the tower especially, people who were young are now older. I know a lady over here, her husband's gone, her kids grew up and moved out, and she's in this big old house.
She's my perfect client.
Yeah, and she probably pays like $80 a month in payment.
Yeah.
Again, she could have hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting there that she
Yes.
maybe go pay cash for a house.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So there's one
Somewhere
reason to
out
sell
of
right now.
California, Yeah.
Or move out of state.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of mobile sales. People are moving into the mobile home market. $750 a month
Yeah.
rent.
Yeah, I see, you guys walk through my house, it's kind of nice. I see so many mobile homes that are so much nicer than my house.
Right,
Brand
right.
new kitchens and carpets and
right.
laundry facilities and everything. They're really nice.
It is. That's a great opportunity, especially for a woman like what you're talking about,
Yeah.
for her to go live in a community like that.
And-
And the people.
And there's community, I don't like to call them like old people community, they're
No.
senior.
Senior.
I can move into them now. You guys
I
can move
can
into them
too.
now, so it'd be a nice place. You'd live next to us.
Right. I know, I keep telling my husband, we gotta move to a mobile park. He says, I'm not moving to a mobile park.
Yeah.
You can do that once I'm gone, you go ahead and move into a mobile park.
Well, if somebody's got too big of a house, or they're getting divorced, or somebody died, these are times, like you
Yes,
said.
I think that's one of our specialties, is these people who die with no will, or trust, or whatever. People don't know what to do, or they have
It
a
could be a
reverse
mess if
mortgage
you
on the
don't know what
house.
to do.
Well, reverse mortgages.
Right.
The mom and dad passed away 2 years ago. Literally, they'll be still in the house. The kids are in the house. They don't know what to do. The bank is going, yeah, but the owners aren't there anymore. The people that have the reverse mortgage now, we're going to foreclose on it. So let's jump ahead to that, because once they hire that attorney to foreclose, there's your equity out the window.
Because you're paying the attorney.
Yeah,
I see.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't
But
think.
they may not be writing a check for the attorney,
No.
but they're gonna take your money to pay the
The
attorney.
bank is going to make sure they add up all of that stuff.
Because they're gonna add that on
Yes,
the, okay.
yes.
So,
No free ride here.
so you guys can figure all that, you know about that, the
Yes.
reverse mortgage thing?
Yes,
Kids
yes.
wanna keep the house.
Yes.
And is there a way to keep it?
Oh,
Yeah, well-
absolutely, if they can qualify.
Sorry. I'm thinking of the deal that we had, mom died, son is a senior. He can get a reverse mortgage. And for some reason, he thinks he doesn't have to do anything. He's still sitting there waiting.
Great.
Even though we've got him all qualified to move
Yeah.
back into a different thing, he's frozen.
Frozen, yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the thing is that we do have a good knowledge of those vendors, if you will, to help with probate, with foreclosure, divorce, any of those things.
Right.
We have it's not a team really,
Right.
but we know the people that do it well.
Right. And it's not as much money as people think.
Mm.
It's not.
Well, almost everybody going through these things, whether it's foreclosure or probate or divorce, it's their first exposure to it.
Right.
Well, you guys have been working in there, and you've helped dozens
Yes.
of people with
And
this, so it's not your first time.
Our knowledge comes from our thousands and thousands of transactions and helping people through these situations.
One thing I don't ever want to say is we've seen it all. Because as soon as I say that,
It's something new.
something new
Something new.
comes up that is completely off the line.
Yes.
Well, listen, I'm going to give you guys one more chance to say something, but our guests are Julia and Tadich. They're experts on all this stuff. They've done it over and over and over. I know a lot of you have a young friend that's a realtor and you want to give some business. I understand all that, but when you need an expert, you better call Tad.
Call us.
Julia and Tad.
Because if we don't know the answer, trust me, we're not going to tell you something that we don't know. Usually we've done it, or we're going to go find out for you the right answer.
By the way, I've been in real estate for 40 years. You know what they told me before we came on the air? Mike, call us, because I had questions. Call us. They'll even answer my questions for free. It's free to call them. So thank you guys. Last thoughts for our viewers?
Call us. We want to hear about your neighbors that are having problems, those vacant houses out there where families have been
We're
evicted.
starting to see those zombie
Oh, yeah.
foreclosures
Yeah.
again.
They just hang out there for a long time
Yeah.
sometimes. By the way, it's this number 559-977-3583. Where does that ring to?
Right to my telephone,
Right to
and
you.
I answer it.
I always say this on the show. Don't make the largest purchase you ever make in your life from somebody who doesn't answer their own phone.
Right.
Julia, it goes right to her. She answers it. We go way overtime every time I have you guys on. But
Okay.
I love to talk to you guys for hours if I could. We'll be back with more real estate. By the way, go to clovisfirst.com. It's right on the screen, clovisfirst.com. There's the phone number, 559-977-3583. We'll be back with more real estate and home improvement right after this.